The Pacers take control of the finals, Boogie Cousins gets kicked out of Puerto Rico, and a Red Sox rookie rewrites baseball history one fake dad at a time. Yesterday was Game 3 of the NBA Finals, where the Indiana Pacers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 116-107. The Pacers now lead 2-1 in the finals. And good for Indiana. I haven't seen that many people cheering in Indianapolis since... No, actually I've never seen that many people cheering in Indianapolis. Honestly, when I hear Indiana in finals, I still assume we're crowning the State Fair pie-eating champion. But here we are. They're actually winning. The Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton came back looking like himself again, which is to say, a really polite gentleman who accidentally keeps hitting buzzer beaters. Hallie flirted with the triple-double, but the Pacers bench, they outscored OKC by 31 points. That's not a second unit, that's the Justice League with shin splints. And Benedict Mathurin scored 27, which is insane, because Benedict Mathurin sounds less like a finals legend and more like a colonial judge who sentenced you to 30 lashings and modest property tax. The Thunder had a lead going into the fourth quarter, and then Indiana did what they've done all playoffs long, outscoring OKC 32-18 in the fourth. It's less of a game plan and more of a late-in-life coming-out party, like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds on the Deadpool and Wolverine press tour that made Call Me By Your Name look like Top Gun Maverick. And hey, it worked. Everyone bought it. It was clearly a good look on you guys, which makes me wonder, why weren't you doing this the whole time? Right. Now, historically, teams that win Game 3 of a tied finals go on to win the whole thing 80.5% of the time. So unless Oklahoma City can find a way to rewrite 75 years of basketball history, they're basically the Titanic saying, okay, but this time we stocked up on life jackets. Now look, I also have an 80% chance of calling my mother tomorrow, but let's be honest, we're both gonna blow it. Puerto Rico's Baloncesto Superior National League announced that former NBA All-Star DeMarcus Cousins was kicked off his team for the remainder of the season after an ugly altercation with courtside fans earlier this week. Cousins settled this beef the same way two drunk, closeted Sigma News would, with their genitals and some light assault. Boogie was bothered by a constant heckling of a fan, so he shot the bird at the heckler and gave himself an over-the-chinos rub and tug before grabbing the fan's arm as the scene escalated. Because nothing says I'm above this like swinging your metaphorical dick and your literal hands. As Cousins was being escorted off the court, one fan chucked a drink at him, because apparently this is how Puerto Rican basketball handles conflict, with a round of beverages. And just like any good happy hour, once one person orders, everybody else joins in. Other fans poured onto Cousins literally, and at that point, all hell had broken loose. BSN officials announced Boogie would be fined $4,250 for what essentially amounted to public indecency, light assault, and inciting a beverage-based mutiny. That's it. In the NBA, you could find more for wearing the wrong socks. Jesus, I know strippers who charge more. Yes, Boogie is known for his temper, but even by his standards, this is a first. Actually getting kicked out of an entire league? And this is the guy who back in 2021 managed to earn 2 technical fouls in just 3 minutes. Say what you will, but that's efficiency. That's time management. He got ejected faster than you can open crack streams without being distracted by the pop-ups. Gotta give the man credit, he doesn't waste your time. The real kicker though, Cousins was playing for the Mets de Guaynabo, because apparently the curse of the Mets is transnational. Different city, same Mets energy. Start strong, implode dramatically, and somehow make it your own fans' fault.
Opening day, and here's the first pitch, and the season's over.
Yesterday was the battle of internet influence, essentially the Cold War if both superpowers were shirtless in their 20s and monetizing their own emotional instability. Streamer iShowSpeed raced influencer and probably Times Man of the Year, Ashton Hall. They decided to settle their beef the old-fashioned way, by running a race marked on the grass near Speed's stream setup. For once, Ashton Hall didn't have his crew, his entourage, or his cameramen strategically running slower beside him to boost his ego. And he got smoked. Flat out. So what's Ashton say after? I'm gonna need 100 more.
So looking at it, bro, we gotta go ahead and get in at least 10,000.
And unlike Hall's fake clients, Speed was ready to deliver. These titans of TikTok proceeded to run 4 separate heats. And by round 4, it wasn't about who was faster, it was about who still had cartilage. And iShowSpeed won every damn time. You don't call that a foot race, that's a televised intervention. Because everyone knew Ashton Hall's luxurious lifestyle was fake, but we didn't know his athleticism was too. Now, that famous clip of Hall jogging alongside DJ Khaled, it reads more like performance art. 2 guys pretending to run while their reputations wheeze behind them. And finally, this week, Red Sox prospect Hunter Dobbins went viral for 2 quotes. 1, saying he'd rather retire than play for the Yankees, and 2, claiming his dad once played for the Yankees. It was a heartwarming story, setting Dobbins up to star in the Field of Dreams reboot. There was just one problem. Nobody could find any evidence. Like, not a single shred of proof. The New York Post looked into it, and surprise, no trace of Lance Dobbins ever being on the Yankees. Not in the archives, not in the record books, not even on Baseball Reference, which lists every pitcher who's ever gone one inning and then sold insurance in Des Moines for the rest of their lives. According to the Red Sox media guide, he pitched 2 seasons in the Diamondbacks organization. That's not just a different team, it's a different beast entirely. That's the equivalent of growing up and flexing on the playground that your dad was a Navy SEAL. Then one day realizing he's just been watching NCIS reruns with the captions on and yelling Semper Fi every time Gibbs comes on screen. And look, we all embellish. I once bragged about opening up for Seinfeld, which is true. I did open my dad's Seinfeld DVD box set, but it's not the same. This does beg the question though, what else did Hunter think happened to his family? Was George Steinbrenner their dentist? Did Derek Jeter steal their dog? Did A-Rod break up his parents' marriage? Or just endorse the divorce settlement? And now, today's uncoachable moment. Watch and learn absolutely nothing. Thanks for watching episode 9 of Uncoachable. I'll be traveling tomorrow, but I'll still try to cover the biggest news in sports. In the meantime, if you're missing Uncoachable, check out some of our longer specials out on YouTube now. The state of NIL 4 years in, the rise and fall of Hooters, and the Luka Doncic trade, and the state of the Dallas Mavs.